titles. We're in here. We're in here. Welcome to Code Hangout number 33. Today we're going to look at just grabbing things and moving them around. So basic move controls. We're gonna start, I think, with maybe not even with cages, maybe with overlays. We'll see. So yesterday we added line point editing. There's a couple of refinements to do, especially when lines are near each other, when you want to grab a point and there's something else nearby. Like in this case, do I grab the line? Nope, I selected the cell. So that's something we need to figure out still. But today I want to just be able to take this and drag it around, right? And ideally that code should obviously be fairly portable. Where's the rest of it? What the heck? Why is all the code collapse? That code collapse was weird. Ooh, it collapses. The collapsing is broken somehow. So if I collapse to level 1, it does not collapse these things. It should. What's going on here? All right, let's get our console up and running. I think my editor just updated. Ugh, I think they messed with my code collapsing. And all of this. And then I go level 2. Why does it break it? The collapsing, they broke it again. It's barely been working so far. Why does it collapse? Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, that's gonna update. I use this so much. Why? Why does that collapse this whole block? Is it because of... What the heck? Wait a second. Why does this collapse all of this? What's in here that messes it up? This collapses the... It thinks this is something that needs to collapse. What the heck? Oh, man. Oh, man. I wish I would have realized this before starting. Sublime text report issues. Let's see if we can report this. I think it just updated to the build. Let me try if I can isolate this. So if I put this in here, is a dip. If I do something like this, right? Then I have function B here. And then something like this. Okay. So I do something like AB equals arg, right? Return A plus B, just so we have an extra line there. And then so this doesn't give me another collapsey thing. But this doesn't either. It did here. Is there something overlapping? Because it could tell me that there's actually something wrong with the code. Although it's very unlikely. Okay. So without the semicolons, it doesn't seem to cause the issue. Okay, let's bring in this magic function that does the thing. A, B, C. Right, well, I wasn't really meaning to debug the update. Hey, Craig. I've briefly looked at it, yeah. Not really interested. I've invested so much time dealing with the issues of this tool. I mean, I've started up VS Code. It has a lot of interesting integrations and tools. But then, you know, if you're used to something and then suddenly it does something else, it's like saying, hey, have you tried Mac? I mean, I know too much about certain things that something new will do anything that I can't already do somehow, and that I won't find the new problems in that thing either. But their code collapsing, man, it's always been a bit of an issue. Okay, so that's broken. So let's see where I can simplify this code example. Okay, simplify this. If I get rid of, if I name this Y, still nothing. If I do this, still A, still B, still C, still return A plus B. Okay, get rid of that. So far this looks just like these guys. If I remove this comment, but here it doesn't. How is this function different from the others? A, B. Oh, wait, what? Where was it? I don't even remember now. It was a short function. Okay, each component. So it wasn't this one. This one. Yeah, so is this incorrect? Puzzle, we want to extract an element. No, this is not incorrect. We're taking... So it's the second nesting where it struggles. Yeah, and I don't think I even need any of these. Or this. I don't even need this, right? Or that. Oh. Oh. So it fails at one level of nesting. What the heck? So if I call this one X, this one Y, and this one Z. So here, that fails. And as far as I can see, this is perfectly valid JavaScript. Let's just make sure of that before I say something stupid. JavaScript validator. Do you use VS Code, Craig? Yeah, never used. Okay, fine. Okay, so it seems to be valid JavaScript. So issues. Insert the class default no longer work for some syntaxes. So is there a template? Let's first see if there's an issue already. Generate file error, restrain default behavior if fault start reach includes new line. Won't you expand scope, last update broke, send control, enter shortcut. Folding rules to default, use ignore, cancel button. Alright, new issue. Or feature bug report. Fold. Okay, so this was build 413. Build. So nested structuring assignments break full code folding in build 4131. So let's just make sure this is code. If code contains a nested destructuring element, in an indented function, comma, it folds everything past that line. Folding on the let in function x works, but breaks badly in function y. Create a nested destructuring assignment inside an indented function like this. All right. Fold on either let line. Code fold either let line. Expect behavior. There should be no fold marker on a single line. Come on. And folding it should not fold the entire file after that point. Actual behavior, folding the second let state and in the example folds the entire file after that line. All right, that should be clear enough. 4131 Windows 10 dimension work fine before the latest update. Not certain which build I was on. All right, I'm guessing they'll have to, which means I'm gonna have to work today without folding, which is gonna be so painful. And it's been broken in so many different ways, so many times. Let's see if there's any other 4131 code folding issues. I mean, that update I think has been around for a couple of days. Can I filter by milestone? No, by API build. I wish I could filter by build number. 4131. Presentation guides look honest. No. Fold. When the search is slow, searching for code folding bugs. This sounds like it might be related. Oh, I could have put a screen recording there. All right, that's not what we're here to do today. So what we want to do is, when selecting one of these guys, I want to be able to move it. So, and that's kind of why I wanted to. I can't fold it all. Can I break this out somehow, maybe? What if I do this? If I do this, ugh. Still full, but it still fails. And even if I fix this one, it'll probably fail elsewhere. Can I not fold this function? Can I not fold everything? Maybe I can fold like this. Nope. Where does it break now? Base classes, components, puzzle editor, deprecated, components, overlay. Nope. Okay. It's probably the same syntax, right? You know what? I can actually change that. I can just say source puzzle. Yeah, in fact, we're not even using current puzzle here. We can just do this, right? And it will break as well. Well, yes, technically that code is... No, it's not exactly wrong. It's just unused code. I wanted to reuse code. Change it all the time. Arrow component, is that really... Yeah, that's the last component, I think, currently. Now I don't trust it, right? I don't know. I don't trust if the code just disappears. Yeah, so Puzzle Editor has it as well somewhere. Well, let's see where. Oh. Current puzzle. So if we do this, like this, it will avoid this, but man, that's painful. Can I single line that at least? Does that happen elsewhere? Puzzle Editor is the last function here, right? Like now I have to double check everything because I never know if it's gonna break again. But that means now bulk folding should work again. No, this looks weird. It does some weird thing with... Oh my god, what is this? How this is not a third level code fold? Ay, ay, ay. All right, well. Oh, that's annoying. Hey, Frank. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. So today I want to do sort of the drag and click thing, and I want to... I don't know. Oh, there's a little red marker. What does that mean? There's a red question mark. God knows, right? How am I supposed to know? There's no... And now it's disappeared. Whoa. Does that mean something? Who knows? If these markings were reliable, it'd be great. But it looks like they're using regexes or something. It's not a parser-based system, that's for sure. All right, so I have a bunch of handling stuff here, which we probably want to modify. So there's a couple of things there's a couple of routes we could go. We could have handles, right? We could have like a drag, resize handle type thing. I think for just dragging it, I think it'll be enough to be able to just grab it. So for now, if I select this, and that's an overlay component, right? So I want to be able to just manually select it and drag it for now. That's just what I'm gonna set up here. I'm seeing heart eye emojis in my chat, so that probably means there's gonna be a... Oh. It's gonna be a picture. I thought I was hoping for a dog picture, but I didn't get it. How disappointing. All right, so we do have an input down thing now. But do we here? All right, now the input down should coincide with... why do I have to do this manually? All right. So, resolve component. No, this is so painful. Select component, so about the point. So we have get input component, so that's here. So basically we just want to do the RC hit test here. I think that's all we want to do. I collapse these, hopefully I can reuse that. Okay. I use that feature so much. This is going to be very, very, very painful. I think I need more than that. Yeah, might as well grab this line as well. Now the RC hit test Is that compatible with an array-based thingamajig, with an array-based RC value? RC BB hit test. I think it should be. It's sitting in RC BB hit test. Bounding box hit test. RC. No. I wanna normalize the variable usage thing here. It should just always be arrays. There's almost no reason to do anything else ever. And this is just really clunky. If I do something like this, and then do something like this, right? And then do return RC. Or if array is array, return RC. Else, if rc.r is not equal, return this. Make it short, efficient. We're going to use this in many places. Right? Then we can do this. And I think that makes more sense. And we can parse RC in here. And we can do RC equals normalize RC. Or, better even, we can do let RC equals normalize RC. Kind of like that. Right. And we can do the same thing for this guy. I think that works. I think it should maintain everything else working. Sorry, dog news. Squeaky toy was in between, so not he stepped on it and squeaked. He was sniffing for it. All right, it was hidden in the blanket. And then she moves the toy, and now he's still searching for it because it still has the smell on the blanket. Sometimes she teases him too much. Okay. So now we're just gonna can just do this. We shouldn't care what this is. And then here we can do let's just do this kind of thing. So now, clicking here and pressing here needs this. That's true, false, false, true, false, true, false, true. Okay. So if we're hitting down, we want to assign the drag point. Now each element, so dragging an element is not trivial because we have multiple elements, right? And we can, as usual, we have a couple of options. We could, for the purpose of the drag operation, set them in a transform and then just move them all together. Except we can't really do that because we don't exactly know how these elements are being moved, right? So I think one thing I want to do is similar to what we did with the update props in the line component. We want to change update props in here So we can just update the center and it will know what to do. I think that's probably the best thing. We're gonna do that for a second here. We're gonna do center. And don't have props here, right? Props equals this. So move the microphone out of my line of sight. All right. So I believe in this case we just want to update center. And we're just gonna do, well, actually, let me just do this quickly. So if I click, we have a center, yada, yada, yada. All right. So we're gonna do this dot update props, and then we're gonna do center, and it's going to be an array of 2 coordinates. And we're gonna pull the old one out, plus 1. And the second coordinate plus 2. Okay, so that should now hit the props update thingamajig. Center 6.3. Okay. So let center plus props. And we want to see update val. All right, then we update it, and then we make sure the element is in the right spot. Okay, so we also want to look at the elements, right? And I believe we need to look at there could be. So this will have a rectangle and a text. Do they always have a rectangle and text? I need one with a blank circle. I think crop key dots would count. Do we not have a crop key? Oh, they all have V's on them. All right. This one. So if I click on the crop key dot and then click. Yeah, we only have one element. And that element, let's have a look. So this element here, should be able to select it like that, is positioned via XY. Okay, and then the text element here. So if I look at the text element, it's positioned also via X and Y. So I'm gonna try to see if I can reverse engineer them. And I think they all the elements should have that. Object.values elements for each. Element XY. And I want to make sure. So I select this, press here. Yeah, because we have weird offsets and all that. Excuse me, because the text has its own little thing. So the important thing is that we create a delta. The danger with that is that we will get rounding errors, right? So we might get drift over time, which is a little problematic. So that's a little bit of a problem. Because what I'm thinking right now is we have these weird text offsets, right? Now I could just say, okay, what's the relative cell you know, we shift by one cell, that's 64, we add 64, that's fine. And we can probably do that a million times and not have a problem. But if we want to shift it by, you know, smooth amounts, fractional cells, we'll start accumulating floating point errors, right? And over time, the text might shift relative to its rendering position. Maybe not enough to matter. So we have a couple of options. One option would be to find the relative offsets of these elements once, and then hold on to them, right? And then always use those. The problem is that keeping that information up to date might be tricky because over time, those might change, right? I mean, we could do it in get elements, because if we change things, like if we're re-rendering the element because let's say the text changes or whatever, then get elements might change. Because right now we wouldn't, without, like, I mean, here I can figure out what these offsets are because I can look at the render and so on, but I want to do it generically, right? So it might make sense to calculate the offsets here. So handler overlay feature, find SVG elements. Now we don't have a refresh SVG here. No. SVG equal rebuild SVG. We have that only in the cage component, but it does re-render. It's a little dicey. All right, from now, I mean, even if it's, as long as the random accumulation is only sub-pixel or less than a couple of pixels, it shouldn't be a problem. Since users at this stage aren't going to move the text, in fact, they can't move the text relative to the element, right? So it's just going to render slightly different if you move it around a million times. But anytime you refresh the view, everything will be, you know, fixed again. So I think for now, we're going to just calculate the relative movement, right? So we're going to do delta rho equals center 0. So if the updatable is greater, our delta is positive. So we want the greater one minus the smaller one. Just, you know, keeping things straight. And that's the delta column. So we should have a dr/dc here. dr/dc. And the delta should be here. The delta is in whole cell units, right? So if I click this, press here, the delta should be 0. What? I literally divided 1 by 2 and was surprised by the result. Okay. Okay, so I'm guessing we can just increment these. So let x equals y equals, right? And we have the CS here. So that becomes a simple set attribute xx plus delta column times cell size. And we'll do the same thing for dy. This could, I think the rounding might be an issue because it could accumulate very quickly as you're moving, if I'm tracking the mouse cursor. Boom. Pow. All right. Let's see. So I select this and click here. It completely disappears. dr/dc is 1, 2. These come back as... these come back unparsed. Load. Can we just... Man. Is there not just like an elem.x, elem.y? Do I really have to do all this shenanigans through strings, parse them out, and then stuff them back in just to change the position of an element? Can I just update those? Let's find out. Can I just do this? Selected, click. No. So and SVG update XY. Change XY. Do I really have to use set element? You can use the set with following as with your elements, alright. But yeah. But apparently I can't set it. I mean, we could use transform. The advantage of transform would be that it doesn't accumulate rounding errors and it respects the original position of the element. But we need to detransform it at some point. So once we're done editing, we need to basically destructure it back into a, regular position. Or maybe we don't actually, because maybe we can just use transform here. Maybe that's the best thing to do, because the actual positions are recorded in the properties, right? So we don't really care about the value of what's in the element. The only problem with this is if the element has a transform on it from other reasons, then we would destroy it. And dealing with that would mean nesting it into something. Yeah, that might not be great. So the X property, what was it? It was like it was a special thing. It was a SVG animated length. SVG animated length. So can I manipulate these? Base value ammo. The base value given attribute before applying any animations. SVG length. Can I change it? Conversion properties value. Then short float value. So I should be able to say dot value. Something like that. Maybe. I mean, it obviously doesn't work, I guess. Huh. Okay. Can I not read it out like that? The value, X value is undefined. Properties float value. Ah, wait, but I have to look at base val, right? So I do this and this. It's getting exceedingly unnecessarily complicated. Aha. So base val.value. So this would work then? Supposedly. Let's find out. Da-da-dun. It doesn't work for all of them. What the hell? Base val dot value. Oh man, this is confusing. So base val.value. Oh, neither of these is correct. This goes here. And then afterwards, we get this. All right, let's see. Hey, I'm learning. Hey, Shelby, good morning. How are you? I rubbed some dust in my eyes or something. My eyes have been feeling gritty since this morning. Very uncomfortable. So, base x value before is this, afterwards is this. Then, length list. What? Base val is a length list. What the heck is an SVG length list? SVG length list. Does that mean we have more than one XY on the text element? Why do we have a length list? So it moves the circle, but not the text. Why is that? So the element XY, animated length, right? lm.x, lm.y. There should be two of them. But I'm only seeing one here. Ah, that's the other. Animated length, length. Okay, animated length list. Why? Huh. Does it have a to value thing? Let's see. I just want an easy way of getting the number out of there. Jesus. To value. It's not a function. Frick. Why does text have an animated string text? Find text. Text element. Element, SVG element, SVG graphic element, text element. Methods, specifications. Okay. Text properties, XY, length, percentage. Value type, length. So it's just a measurement given as a number. All right. Waste of my time. We're just going to use get x, get y. I don't know why there's a length list on text. SVG text x length list y. I don't know. Why does it make sense to anybody? Find x. 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 Come on. SVG elements. The X roots around X over user. On text, though, it appears to be of type length list. All right, it's too messy for me. So if I do this, we've parse floated them and click, move, and move again. Oh, and click and move and click and move. Okay. Click, move, move again, move again. All right, so we can move it like this. We'll deal with the accumulating errors later. And we probably want to move these out here. And out here. Right, and we probably just want to move these in there. I mean, right, it's really not necessary to do all that. Is there a set attributes? SVG set attribute. Set attribute. Is there a set at? Set multiple attributes. Ugh, this is it's multi D3. No, not D3. All right, never mind. I guess that's why people make APIs and all that. All right, why do I still have this logging? So click, moved. Okay, no spam. So obviously we don't want to just do this now. We want to apply a, basically hold on to this thing, right? So if we have a hit test, if this RC hit test, and we are selected because we're only getting events forwarded if we're selected, so we don't have to worry about that. This dot drag offset equals, yeah, we need to find our drag offset, right? So let center equals prox. What? Why am I doing that? Center. And then we want to multiply it by this thing. So center 0 times CS. Center 1 times CS. And then RC. For now, I think we can just do normalize RC. Something like that. Center. So 340, 46. RC is actually in cell coordinates, so we don't even need to do this here. So we can normalize RC. So let RC equals normalize RC. Let drag offset equals center 0. So 1 second, if the center is 1 and the cursor is 2, we want the offset to be -1. So it's center minus R, center 1 minus C. I guess minus a million spelling mistakes. So click here, drag offset is, so that's relative to where the mouse currently is positioned. So we want to add 1.6, etc. Okay. And we just want to put that in here. All right. Sorry, I still have these gnats from some plant. I haven't found the plant yet. I found one plant and evicted it, but they're still around. Okay, so now we basically want to move on to input move. Okay. That one is always scary because it's super spammy. I don't like dealing with it at all. But we can do if this dot drag offset. I can probably do this. Let drag offset. What's this? If this dot drag offset. Now we need two things. We need the drag offset, and we need to they have the original drag position. Drag center. Like that. And we need to clone that so it doesn't update. And we'll just put that there. If drag center and drag offset. Right. All right, and then okay, now it's spamming till the end of days. So we're gonna add a mouse up. It's down, input up. And we're just gonna remove these again. I'm just gonna delete them. All right, so now I should be able to stop this poop. All right. Good start, good start. Rip. So the new position now, which we still need to calculate here. And RC, is this used for anything else? I guess we can just normalize RC once and then don't have to worry about it again. Something like that. We can even just do this. No, we don't need to do this either. So now we also want to calculate this stuff like that. I'm just gonna dump all the three elements here. So in theory, what should our new position be? Our new position should be so let next RC next center equals, it's an array, we have two elements. Our row would be, so the current position minus drag offset 0. So when we haven't moved yet, this should be the same as drag center. So we don't actually care about drag center, do we? Yeah, no, we don't actually care about drag center. Okay, I was wrong about that. We can probably just remove that one again. So that probably goes here. Is the music not looping again? Don't know why it's not looping. Come on. That means we're entering the second hour. Ah, come on, fly. Which plant? Damn it, I need to figure it out. All right, so click here, click, do this, release, click again, do this. And release. All right. So that all we really need to do is put this in here. Basically. Yay. All right. Nope. Oh. Maybe I underestimated the power of the heck? What the heck? Is that really just random? Is that really just rounding errors? Jeez. I guess I underestimated how much rounding is going to happen. It feels like an accelerated value. Like, it takes a while to catch up. This is odd. This feels so strange. So after the fact, the position should be... The center position should be this stuff. One sec. That's a little odd. Just a little odd. Just checking notifications. Hey, Mark. You know what? Maybe there's something to it. Maybe I should do that sometime. Like with some action, you know? Kind of like a hot wire thing. Maybe you have to trace the thermal, and if you touch it, you know, you place a digit there or something. Center 3-1. Huh? Okay, so this is really odd. So, after the update, center is unchanged. Oh, because we're not updating center. Ah, I'm an idiot. We're not updating center. Why aren't we updating center? Why are we not updating center here? Huh. So let's get rid of this for a sec. I think halfway through writing this code, I forgot why I was writing it. which is very much on brand for me. So what we really want to do is we want to get our deltas. Then we want to update our center. So center 0 equals update val 0. And so on and so forth. And now we just want to recreate this stuff. One second. No. We need the delta of the individual element. That's what we don't care about. We need the offset for each individual element, right? Ah, no. Well, I guess this will still work. Right? As long as you just update center afterwards. So we do still need to multiply this times CS. Like that, I guess. So select. Okay. I think the console is struggling. I'm gonna heat up my CPU just console logging like that. Alright, let's try that again. And it sucks that I can't select and drag in one movement. What's happening here? So I click, I start dragging, and now it stopped dragging. Oh. It doesn't like me updating it that much. I think it doesn't like me updating the SVG that many times. Like, you see these spikes? Okay, this might be a little bit more involved than I had anticipated. Right, we're sitting at a cool 26 to 30% CPU usage at any one time, thanks to the million tabs I have open. And that spikes it to our oh my god, okay. So we can't do this. Hey, Lordle UK, I guess. Shoot. So we have a couple of options. We can move the elements differently. So instead of actually moving the element itself, we'll move like a stand-in something something, right? We can use transforms, which get a bit tricky because then we might destroy existing transforms on the elements, right? So we might have to first wrap it into a group, but then, you know, which can be done. It's just a bit annoying. Or we might mix different kinds of transforms. Maybe mix SVG transforms with CSS transforms, right? Yeah, but that's... I want to limit the placement to a grid, but I would like to not have to limit the movement itself to a grid. Let's see what it looks like if we did. And we'll do it in here. So all we really need to do is to draw RC. Right. It's kind of sad though that you can't animate stuff. I mean, that's what, you know, what animations and transforms are designed for. But there's no reflow. They're all basically absolutely positioned by basically. Anyway. So first, let's see if that gives us our grid snapped values. And small inversion there. All right. My stomach's starting to growl. I think... Oh, okay. All right. So let's do this. And then if we don't have a change, if send to 0. And yeah. Don't directly compare floating point values. I'll if this works and or doesn't work, I'll change it. Right. Should be able to just break out of the switch. Boom, boom. I think I can still overwhelm it quite easily. Yeah, that's the problem with mouse move. It can fire very quickly. And it really doesn't take much for this to be a problem. Jeez. Let me get rid of the console logging again. And look at the task manager again. Is it really that bad? I mean, my computer's relatively beefy. Although what I do to it in terms of browser tabs is probably a little cruel. Can I disable... so many streaming windows open. Jeez. Okay, well, let's see. Select this. So... Okay. And move it. And we're at over 100. Oh, wait. We'll refresh it to get rid of the console. Spam. Grab this. Probably the fact that it has a filter on it doesn't help, huh? Jeez. It could be literally the selection grid. Although lines have it as well. Well, to be fair, you don't usually do this when you're dragging a line. You see, it does the same thing. And the lines I can't even use a transform on. Let me try something. So, because I know I had massive performance issues with filters in the past. So let me just manually disable them for now and just see if that makes a big difference. Yeah. Just gonna disable all of these filters. And do this. Okay, it's selected now. I mean, it's already spiking to 50% CPU usage there. Jesus. What the heck am I doing in the background? It could also be because I'm still doing all the other algorithm stuff. Good point. What if I don't move it? What if we just don't move it? We don't run set attributes. And we look at the performance, right? Do we have a similar... Or, yeah, let me just do this. And in fact, you see it already spikes to 100. So, all the inefficiencies are accumulating and biting me in the butt. Jeez, okay. So, let's see. Let's do this here. All right. Let's do this. This small. Record. Do this. And stop. So the line editor doesn't work fine at all. Nothing works fine, actually. Everything is terrible. So let's have a quick look here. So it might be to get the bounding boxes. So we might have to cache them. Oh yeah, no, they manipulate the DOM. Yeah, we have to cache these. We definitely have to cache these. So I think what we want to do is we want to move all of this into component and then cache everything there. I think so. I think that's what we want to do. So we can actually cache it at a much higher level. So inside component, so these are getting called by RC hit test, right? So, you know, if we look at our, you know, which function is getting hit over and over and over, you know, and it's using a lot of time, it's RC hit test and get input component. So let's just cache that stuff. RC hit test for each get or bounding box with transform. So we're just going to do this dot get bb box. We're doing it by element here. Can we cache that? I mean, we can definitely cache it per element, right? So we're just gonna do this quickly, and then later on maybe we can just do a universal version of this. Let idx equals gets this idx equals elements.index of and this is already inefficient, right? Yeah, probably, because it's happening on every mouse movement, right? And what it's doing is to apply the transforms. What I'm doing is I'm taking every element, I'm creating a new element, and this is not a cheap operation. I'm inserting it into the DOM, I'm attaching the child to that new element, I calculate the bounding box, and then I pull it back out, reattach it, remove the group. So I'm constantly manipulating the DOM here, right? Because unfortunately, get bounding box on the element does not take the element's transforms into consideration, which is just hilarious, right? So that one basically delocalizes it, so it becomes a sort of global thing. And it's kind of like, yeah, you could do it without that by basically doing the transforms, like going up the tree and calculating all the transforms and stuff, and it would be probably more efficient. But since the bounding box doesn't really change much, I can, easily cache it, right? For the line, it would change, but I think the line doesn't actually use the bounding box, right? And it doesn't matter, right? Because I'm doing it for all the elements every frame, because I don't know if I'm on the line or whatever, right? So, in fact, the line doesn't call this RC hit test over here, this high level one. Where was I? So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to see, hey, this thing has a list of elements, right? And that's the other thing, right? Every component can be made up of many elements, 5 or more, right? So you suddenly have to do this 5 times. So you're generating 5 DOM elements, you're removing 5 DOM elements twice, and then you calculate bounding boxes on all of them. And then you do it again, like the next frame, right? So this is ludicrous. So we just need to, ultimately we just have to cache the bounding boxes, and then we need to cache and validate that, which is, of course, everyone knows, one of the easiest things to do in programming. But, so we're gonna do something like, so we're gonna do this dot, let's let bb cache equals this dot underscore bb cache equals or equal this or empty array. Boom. So we have a bounding box cache, right? Then we'll say if bb cache, and then we're just going to call this idx, or if not bb cache idx, bb cache idx equals this. Boom. And then we just return this. Right. So this was basically just burning our CPU. I mean, we had nothing spare. So refresh. And in fact, I shouldn't have to click anything. Okay, now if I move the mouse, it spikes back up. It could be enough that some of them aren't... Oh, wait, I'm not using it, that's why. I'm an idiot. that would probably cause it to not work. Ah, look at that. It's sitting at 10-50%, which is bad enough. But at least it's not instantly spiking to 100. And that could be enough just because I think the line elements aren't using... So pause and then stop. Aren't using that function. So look at that. We actually have some space in between. Wow, okay. Yeah, like when you're doing stuff like that, anything that touches the DOM, you know, you cannot do casually. I did it casually. I mean, I'm kind of in a prototyping phase, but it's also relatively easy to fix, right? Because we don't really need to do this very much. So probably what we want to do is we want to invalidate the cache whenever there's a change, because it doesn't... Yeah, because like even if we're doing it for one element, it's not a problem. So we can do something like, and here we're just gonna do this plus this, so we can avoid doing this. And then what we're probably gonna do is we invalidate that on update props. The only problem with that is this might not be called correctly from the children. Well, anyway, let's switch on the styles again and see. So it wasn't the styling, it wasn't the rendering, it was DOM manipulation, because that's always expensive, and I should have known better. lm.indexOf is not a function. lm.indexOf is not a function. Lm, it should be lms. Lms. Interesting. Because we shouldn't even get here. Because if lms is not a list, is not an array, then we should never end up here. So it's a bit strange that we would even get this error. Oh. Ugh, I'm an idiot. Is this dot object dot values, this dot. I think I need to switch this to an array. There's a fundamental flaw still how I manage this. Group, okay. Right. How is our task manager doing? Besides, you know, dying from the million tabs that I'm running. Ah, that's not too bad. Can I just look at that one task? Here we go. 15%, 25%, 9%, 17%. And when I don't move, it does that. Okay, there's a million things I can optimize, so... the nice thing is that the movement is not going to be a question on mobile. So on mobile, you just tap and tap, right? So you select and you tap where you want it to go, which is actually something I need to implement. Okay. So we can go back to this now. Enable this again. 795. 795. Here we go. So now I should be able to grab this and move it around, and it should move relatively smoothly. 15%, yeah, that's fine. And I should be able to do this as well, and now we should have smooth movement. All right. Actually, I don't like the grid like it is right now. I mean, I don't really want to fine-tune it, but it kind of, boom, jumps into your face. And I wanted it to be super subtle, almost like sort of graph paper or something. So maybe I can do this by doing that. So if I select the line now, yeah, that's much better. The dots are there, but they're subtle. On a small screen, you might not even... Yeah, you wouldn't see them, really. But they're enough to kind of be a subtle reminder. Maybe we can do them a little bit stronger. Yeah, that's not too bad. I don't know if I can do something in between. Fractional dot sizes. Sounds a bit... Yeah, actually, that's not bad. They're visible, but not obtrusive. Now, one thing I don't like is that I have to click and then click again. So, let's see if we can fix that. If I do this... Yeah. So it doesn't get the down event on selection. And the reason I didn't do that is because... Yeah, like if we did it on the line, we would instantly break the line here. So we don't want that. So how can we fix this? Because I want to be able to just doom and move it, right? But I also want to be click and then not have it separate. So I think we have to pass the event through and then deal with it differently in the line component, I think. Otherwise, if we're not passing the event through, the component doesn't have a choice, right? So handle mouse down. If set selected, if selected, handle type down. Ah, wait, why doesn't it? Why doesn't this work, actually? This looks like it should pass it through. So... Handle input down, that's on the overlay component. Handle input down. In effect, it fires on the component that was just deselected. That seems a little strange. What's going on here? Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm not updating selected here. So we kinda... If we're deselecting, do we want to fire handle input down on the deselected element? No. No, we do not. All right. So then we want to update this. I think set select is supposed to return this, so we can just do this here, and then set selected in other places if it's being overridden anywhere else. I don't think it would be, actually. So now the event handler should fire. Yeah. But it also means this will instantly split. So we need to prevent that. And I don't think there's an event right now for the element being selected. So we don't actually know if if we got selected this frame or in a previous frame. I think the easiest thing would be to just ignore the first click in terms of... I mean, that functional will change anyways. It's just a placeholder, right? Like, if I click down... Oh, let's say if I click down here, 1, 2... Yeah, that's okay, right? So the split is just a test. So we're probably okay with kind of... Let me think. I'm trying to think, where could I put a marker that it's the first click? Probably in the attach handles, right? Because that's when we're getting selected. I really feel like get selected or apply styles or some of these things need to be some of these things basically need to be events instead. Pref style is not equal to selected and cursor is selected attach handles. I mean, I'm kind of de facto already using this as a selection thing. So this dot first event equals true, right? And then handle input down. We're gonna do. We're just gonna output this for a sec. So first event should be true. So if I click on this, boom, boom. First event is true. If not first event, and then false. So now I should be able to select it without splitting it, and then click again to split it. Long click, press, and boom, delete it, right? And then I can grab this, move it. I can't grab this yet. Grab this, move it. Grab this, move it. It's fine. Grab this, move it. Move it there if I want to, you know. I mean, that's kind of the point that people can then, oh, I think they look better here. You know, that suits me more. Because I want to do a mixed, I want to make this in the middle of the cell because this is supposed to be also a sandwich clue or whatever, right? And you can do this, you know, go 4 ways, X mark. Yeah, now this, it's hard to make this hover at this point. Oh. In fact, I don't seem to be able to select this at all. Interesting. Hover here. Okay, something happened to this X. Let me get rid of the cage. I can no longer select this X. So that's interesting. There's definitely an issue here. This still works. And now it doesn't work anymore. Ah, so something is not getting moved here. Something is not getting moved. All right. Let's have a look at that. Handle input down. So if I clear this and click here and then click here. Handle input down, yada, yada, yada. We gotta clean up some stuff here. So let's do a bit of log cleaning. I'm very liberal with my logging. All right. So the only difference here was that we did not update selection, so that's fine. Event, up event, component mention, handle input down. Event, okay, and 812 or whatever it was, right? So handle input down here, we want to have a look at our elements. Actually, we want to look at them here. The annoying thing is the spamminess of it because it's on move. I'll figure it out. Ah, wait, I'm an idiot. This is specifically the caching, isn't it? So Yeah, so this is exactly what I was worried about before, the cache invalidation. Now, we want to invalidate the cache on input on props update, right? So, in theory, the component props update aspect here, let's just do this. So update props in here somewhere. So it does this, but if I don't pass updates in, I can just use it to invalidate the cache. So I can go into line component, update props, and call the parent, kind of something like that. And that should invalidate cache. That should invalidate the bounding box cache. If I now move this and move it over here, it now should have a... Nope. Nope. Nopey nope. Nope but nope. It did not invalidate it. Of course not. That would be too easy. This is in the overlay component, right? Update props. Ah, wait. We want this, right? Console.warn invalidate cache. Right, so take this, move it over here, and we never hit the invalidate cache. Well, that's not right. Didn't I just put the code there? Where did my code go? Did I put in the line thing? Oh, jeez. Sometimes. Ooh. Oop. All right, it blows up. It blows the hell up. So in line 303, object keys. Well, if update. So it invalidates the cache on every movement, but that it should invalidate the cache because that's exactly when we need to update, right? Because when we move it, the bounding box is out of date. So if I go in here and I just move the mouse around, we're creeping up to about 15%. If I grab an item and move it around like this, we're getting up to 60–70%. But that could be very well just from the logging, especially the log warn, which outputs a stack trace. Okay. So let's refresh that. Grab a thing and drag it around. 2040. Okay, we're still outputting 753 and 825. 825. Overlay component update props. Oh, I did it again. I'm editing the line component. Update props. And what was this? 825. Yeah, that's fine. Let's input up. So grab it and drag it. And I don't see where the page is. Grab it and drag. 40, it still jumps up to 46,451. Well, I guess it makes sense because, I I mean, I can further optimize it. I mean, it's still like we're creating and destroying DOM elements so frequently, right? On top of that, I'm invalidating it even if the variable hasn't changed. So our rasterized positioning here, I'm basically ignoring that, right? So there's lots of ways of optimizing that. I mean, the easiest thing would be to say, hey, wait, no, the bounding box needs to update. But we could also physically update it, right? So we could say, hey, let's forcefully update the bounding box. So instead of forcefully invalidating it, when we're changing it, yeah, we could sorry, p dot dirty set dirty. Then we'll just do this dot, yeah, we'll just do this. Instead of doing it there, we'll do it here. Then we can just do this dot set dirty. Now that means we need to actually actively do this in a couple of places. But it also should mean that I mean, we can still ramp it up if we move the mouse fast enough, right? But if we do this, it should be enough for our usage case. I mean, it's not an action game, right? Like if you do this for 5 minutes, you're gonna run the battery down on your laptop or whatever. But that's on you. On lines right now, nope. If I do this, if I select something else. Yeah, so the line hovering doesn't actually operate on manipulating the DOM like that. And the cages, it does, I believe. So if I select something else. Ah, no, the cages don't operate on that either. I don't get the transform for the cages. Ah, man, it's a lot of low-level shenanigans. I think one of our next steps should be also exporting, right? So we can start getting the whole an image of the whole pipeline. So we want to be able to generate a new CTC link with the updated data. But one thing I wanted to do is I want to be able to drag these guys as well. And then I have 3 very different objects. And the lines, actually. I want to be able to drag the lines. If I grab here and move, I want to be able to drag them. I want to be able to do this. Not gonna be trivial, though. So maybe I'll have to do this after the lunch break. All right, first of all, this, I think. I almost regret doing this now, because before, at least I knew where in the code I was, if I was looking at the right thing. I think I've increased the number of errors I'm making because of it. Because by having overlay component written here in each of these functions, it was easier to remember where I was in the code and not edit the wrong code. I don't think that deserves its own little object here. Drag center is not used anywhere, I believe. Nope. And then there was a spare blank line somewhere just now. Wherever we were, there was a blank line that needs removing. But now we moved on, and I don't know where it was anymore. Darn. Where was that blank line? Where? Ah, found it. Okay. Let me think. So, if I wanted to do the same kind of dragging on cages. So, let's find the cages. Is this cages? Is this cages? Handle input down. So handle input down. The problem is it instantly removes the cell. So what if we removed the cell on input up instead? And then we can have a timer. If you hold it for too long, it no longer does the cell removal. So how easy will it be to move all of this into here? I think we can literally just transpose this in here. I don't think it makes a difference if it's on input down or input up for the code itself. So if we do this, so now I can select this, it still do this, but now I can hold it and do this, for example. And now I can, in here, I can do the whole, you know, drag thing. And then I can time it out, etc., etc. All right, my brain is slowing down. It's 1:30, and I got up way too early today. I think 6:30 because I'm trying to fix my sleep schedule a bit, but it means I'm sleeping less than 6 hours again, almost as usual. So let me update my to-do list up here. Draw, delete cage cells by dragging. Oh, we haven't done that. We've done that. Line arrow points. Highlight line arrow points. We've done it for the lines. So let's just remove this for now. Arrow line points. We've done that. I haven't homogenized arrow editing yet. I want to reuse the line tools for those. Filter. Yeah, that's okay. So what else do we want to? That's just like a small, yeah, usability improvement. Drag cages, drag whole line components. So that's kind of two big things we want to do. We want to be able to grab this and not just make a new cell. That long press, I have to fine tune that as well. Oh, and let's get rid of some of the other things here. So we can probably get rid of that. Then we can probably get rid of that. 693. Can probably get rid of that. And that. Yeah, right. Boom. Boop, 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 boom. Boop. 812. Alright, so boom. Up and up. Group. I mean, there'll be a few fiddly things. It doesn't have to be, you know. I'm not building Photoshop here after all. I mean, after all, it's doing a very niche tool for a very niche audience. So I have to be careful not to go completely bonkers overboard with it. Like, if I click here, it'll select the line. So to extend the cage, I have to press here. But what I'd like to be able to do is, first of all, if I press down here, it shouldn't immediately deselect the cage. So I'd like to be able to press down here and drag down to draw the cage down here. But these are little things that just make it feel a bit nicer, but everybody can probably manage this way, you know. The only issue might be if I start dealing with the underlays the same way, because like selecting this underlay, you know, and these arrows obviously are going to be a min-max component. So yeah, my arrow detection is still complete garbage. It completely confuses which elements go here. I'd like to have these here centered in the column. It's kind of nicer. I mean, they're clearer this far out. But I don't think that's actually FPuzzles, not my styling. I think my styling does that better. My styling, the CTC editor styling. So these we can't select yet. Yeah, we can select any of this stuff. These lines we can. Oh. Boom. Wait a second. If I do this... I think those points actually already existed. I think those are pre-existing points. Yeah, okay, so whoever created these lines already included these extra points here. Yeah. He spends a lot of time, I think, optimizing, like cleaning up his puzzles. These are done by from Artisanal Sudoku. What's his name? Sinclair. Very nice puzzles. James Sinclair. He's gotten featured on the channel before, but he prefers a style of sort of simpler puzzles, but he spends a lot of time making them look really nice. Wait, this needs to be... Yeah, this wasn't on the latest version. Alright, and then eventually we have to get up onto the digits, digits, and the grid sizes, you know, those little things. Alright, in the meantime, once again, thank you everybody for your support. I really appreciate it. The follow numbers help. The Patreon helps immensely. I bought another domain name yesterday, so I'm still ahead on just domain name costs from the Patreon support. But you know, there's more of you than of me, so there's hope yet. And yeah, I haven't really been mentioning the Twitch supporters because I basically collected them really before my recent activity streaming, but now I'm streaming in both. Be it as it may, I appreciate you guys as well. I feel that a lot of the Twitch followers are more interested in game stuff than development stuff. But, you know, let me know if it's not like that. I'd appreciate any feedback and comments in that regard. And I can obviously tune things accordingly. If people would like to have more dev-oriented stuff, like, hey, how do you program, rather than what's going on with this specific thing. And I'd like to start doing some videos as well, like talking about a feature or talking about a technique or that kind of stuff. Whatever people are interested in. In the meantime, I'm going to have a lunch break, and I hope I'll manage to do another stream later today. Hope you'll join. Thanks for hanging out. Helps me a lot. I appreciate it very much. Take care.